Diddy is collapsing, and he's taking Kevin Hart and Steve Harvey down with him due to their participation in sex trafficking and pedophilia. Why are Kevin Hart and Steve Harvey so afraid that Diddy's activities would be discovered by everyone?
Definitely gonna have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come closer.
Just 1 month before to Diddy's imprisonment, Kevin Hart unexpectedly closed every one of his Hart House restaurant locations. Furthermore, it's conceivable that Kevin Hart wants to depart the country now that people are starting to speculate. Before Kevin could attempt to leave, however, a video of him at a Diddy party next to prostitutes was made public. Diddy is said to have shown Kevin this video with the idea of reminding him that there is no way out of Diddy, and that if he were to collapse, everyone else would follow him.
We have a scene like this, you gotta bring bosses with you. As you see, it's female friendly. We got a ladies and a female. She's butt ball. That's what I call it, raw dog. I might jump the tub myself. Once everybody moves out, just me and the lady. This is my scene. I'm used to this type of thing. Doing what I do best. Did the camera catch that? Cut the camera.
There are other people in control of Kevin Hart besides Diddy. Recently, an old film has emerged that allegedly shows Diddy wooing Steve Harvey's stepdaughter Lori Harvey when she was 22 years old. The footage that purports to show Diddy rubbing Lori's stomach is questionable because of what Steve Harvey disclosed to the media about the exchange.
With me now to talk about another story making headlines today.
Yeah, so this one is actually sparked by these pictures. That's 49-year-old P. Diddy with his hand on his girlfriend's belly. Now that is 22-year-old Lori Harvey. They're in Cabo. She's, of course, talk show host Steve Harvey's stepdaughter. We're talking about maybe she could be pregnant. He's rubbing her belly.
Tell every boy to come to my house. Listen to me. You take my daughter out, but everything you do to her, I'm gonna do to you. So I always say, if I look outside, when you come in here, me and you gonna kiss real hard.
Notably, Diddy's kid was also romantically involved with Lori Harvey, who was said to have dated Diddy when he was about 50 years old. Dating your son's former girlfriend is weird, and the fact that Steve Harvey went with Diddy on these dates makes it more worse. You really did hear accurately. In video from TMZ, Steve is seated close to Diddy during their time together. Steve seems satisfied that his daughter was meeting a man who might legitimately be considered her father.
Undate her?
Yes!
That cannot be true.
Sounds like someone's got Diddy issues. And by someone, we mean him. Because they actually look pretty happy.
Diddy and Lori Harvey, they're heating things up in Italy. Notice her arm is on the back of his chair.
Shocking! For some reason. But yes, Diddy's now getting super cozy with Steve Harvey's daughter, who Diddy's son, Justin Combs, used to hang out with.
Justin were even that serious. They were just out in the club a couple times.
I think it's more interesting that Steve Harvey's.
Diddy has always had a unique bond with his family members. It is said that he would even kiss his mother on the lips and discuss his sexual relations with her in front of his friends. In a recently uncovered 2022 video, Diddy is seen kissing his mother on the lips after they had talked about opening a strip club named after her and smoked a joint. For someone like him, dating his son's girlfriend isn't really a problem.
Yeah, my mom's gorgeous. Let me introduce you to my mom, called Mom Dukes.
Hi.
She's getting a drip with me. She's hydrating. What's up, Mom?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah, my mom's is single. Mom's is single. I ain't gonna hate on my mom's. She's single. Me and my mom talked about one time doing a dating show with her. And she's so picky. She's so picky, they don't stand. But yeah, that'd be the funniest show in the world. I don't even want to get started if she was doing that. We're not doing that. Yeah, my mom's single. Yeah, for real. Mom Duke know how to have a good time. She ain't sitting in the house playing. Outside moving and shaking, baby. She come with me to strip club. I don't care. For real. It's my dog. I want to live life. We out here.
Also, individuals close to Diddy have confirmed each of these statements. Moreover, Gene Deal has claimed to have seen Diddy kiss his mother and make sexual references to her. Gene Deal said, during an interview with Art of Dialogue, that Diddy used to boast to his friends about his mother's continued beauty and her endless sexual prowess. Though it's not Diddy's usual behavior, he's been doing this for a while. For him, nothing is sacred, not even family.
I was talking about that his mother could take her palms and bend over and put them down on the floor. Not bend over, but she could stand straight up and put her palms on the floor, bruh. He's saying that about his mother. Who describes any of their mother actions like that in a sexual way? And then, you know, I don't know how many dudes do kiss their mother in their mouth when they 50, 60 years old or something like that. That's them, that's their whole thing, man. But that was a little kind of weird for me. And then his mother wore the same white fingernail polish that Cassie described that he liked to see her and other models in when she was describing her lawsuit. And what's crazy to me is that, man, it seemed like him and his mother had this, I don't want to get too deep, man, this Oedipus complex thing.
The only thing worse than Diddy having a sexual relationship with his own mother is that he is allegedly grooming his stepson. A few of Diddy's close friends recalled seeing Diddy try to become too close to his own child. Actually, Diddy was acting in such an odd way that it was unsettling to everyone around him.
You want to know, like, why were you so infatuated with a child that wasn't yours? Were you grooming that little boy? I don't even want to start those conversations because that's not your child. You know what I'm saying? And for you to keep him that close, it's like you kept him that close because he might got your secrets because he's not your child. So if he's not your child and you that type of person with that type of character, you don't mind actually doing it to him when he finally reaches a certain age because he's not yours. And you know in your mind he's not yours. And now you keep him real close to you. You make sure he don't go to his daddy. Why? You make sure he's separated with him and you provide him with everything he wants. Why? He got one of them little Michael Jackson secrets. He got one of them secrets that he can't tell nobody because his legacy, I mean, his manhood gonna be, and not only that, his brother don't gonna look at him crazy. Only Puffy know, only God and Puffy.
About Quincy, right?
I don't know. All I'm gonna say is, I don't know.
I'll be sure, son.
All I'm gonna say is, who's infatuated with another man's son like that? Like you, that seemed like grooming.
Steve Harvey reportedly gave his approval to Diddy and his son's relationship with Lori, since it was rumored that the latter was using his daughter to fortify his ties. Diddy would use his connections to further your career if you brought him someone with whom he may have an affair, according to a number of well-known personalities and others close to him.
Trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him on. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest, he took Justin Bieber there.
Going back to Kevin Hart, a lot of people were shocked by his friendship with Diddy and couldn't believe a person of his caliber could be present at Diddy's strange parties. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, asserts that Diddy placed a lot of pressure on Kevin Hart to use drugs in order for him to engage in all of the activities he performed.
You said I mentioned Justin Bieber. You ain't say I mentioned Kevin Hart.
Hey, well, what's going on with Kevin Hart?
I don't know, man.
Oh,
you know, the internet is going wild on him, saying that he was a curator and a narrator of one of the Diddy parties and got caught on tape in a tub of baby oil or something like that. And he almost fell in the tub. It was crazy.
You know, he would be one of the celebrities that I definitely wouldn't think would be involved in anything illegal. For sure.
But you gotta realize this, man.
people who get caught up in certain those things like that, those parties and things like that, is that they don't go there looking for that stuff. You gotta understand, they get caught up in the moment with the alcohol, the drugs, and then certain bottles that are laced with certain things that take you away from your normal self. And you end up probably doing something that you probably never do again in your life. You never get caught up in those things ever before. There are a lot of celebrities that go to these parties like this.
Is it not shocking that this kind of behavior is common in Hollywood? The music and entertainment industries are rife with instances of individuals who drug people and exploit them.
Bodyguarding one of the girls. So what I'm saying is that it's rampant, and this was years ago. This was over 20 years ago. Rampant in the music industry, is rampant in Hollywood, film, pictures, and anything.
Additionally, according to U.S. Attorney Damian Williams of the Southern District of New York, Diddy poisoned the drinks and drugged the majority of the guests at his freak-off parties in order to take advantage of them.
The statement alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as cocaine, ecstasy, and...
It's noteworthy to note that GHB was reportedly added to the baby oil during Diddy's party, which is what drugged Kevin Hart. Given that they were aware that Diddy was using narcotics to influence his guests, the FBI confiscated all 1,000 baby oil bottles that were in his possession.
Isn't it weird that the government was so interested in Diddy's baby oil that they took 1,000 bottles away from his house? If the government took 1,000 bottles of baby oil and somebody had things what appeared to be baby oil, and then you have to listen to the prosecutor. He said that they seized 1,000 bottles what allegedly to be baby oil. Allegedly to be baby. So that's telling people that it wasn't baby oil. And people think that that was baby oil, they out their mind. I don't believe it was baby oil. Yo, bro, when they went up in there, they knew what they was gonna find. They knew what was ever in that baby oil or that those bottles that appeared to be baby oil, they knew about that at first. You gotta realize 9 times out of 10, that individual that got caught at the airport, that was supposed to be their carrier, told them what they was doing and what they had. I wouldn't put it past that he told them everything. So when they went up in there, they knew they had to take whatever was out there, and that thing that appeared to be baby oil, they took that. They gotta test every last one of them. Let's see how much, let's see how many of those come back to be baby oil. Bro, listen to me. Costco don't sell that much baby oil. Where you know sell that much baby oil? If you ever seen a massage parlor being raided and they walking out, do they take the massage oil with them when they go? No, they just walk out the people who are being arrested. If you ever seen a person getting arrested and the people being arrested in those brothels, they take out the stuff in the brothel houses? No, they don't. They take the individuals who are being arrested out the brothel. For them to take 1,000 bottles of baby oil, it's like that they did not leave one. They left people there, but they ain't leave not one bottle. Nobody needed no baby oil. So my whole thing about it is that there was something in that other than baby oil. That's why they took all the bottles. And 9 times out of 10, if I would give it a wild guess, it was, and like some of the people told me, it was probably that GHB. It's gamma hydroxy butyric. What is its effect on the body? It's a euphoria, drowsiness, decreased anxiety, and memory impairment. It works on the nervous system and gives you this feeling of euphoria.
Just review what Gandil said on the situation. Diddy has long spoken about all of this. Back in a 2002 interview with Conan O'Brien, he talked about how the best way to keep the party going was to drug people and lock the doors. Not the first guy Diddy drugged and exploited was Kevin Hart.
We need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right, just different blend. You need the ladies, you need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants?
No. I don't know if guys have noticed this, like a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat, you mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning. No. Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you doing?
Depends on the way you look at it.
Depends. Oh, people start getting it gets kind of sexy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you sexy. New word for you.
Yeah.
Diddy will never be able to dispute the accusations made by the diddler. A new complaint against Diddy claims that he abused and exploited more than 120 documented minors while working as a producer. The lawsuit was filed by Tony Busby of Houston and contains allegations from male and female victims from 2015.
For instance, another minor told, allegedly by Sean Combs, that he would make him a star, but he needed to visit with him in private about it, away from his parents. Once they were in a private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral sex upon him. Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged, and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual minor was raped, and then other individuals took turns raping her. Another individual, 26 at the time of the occurrence, was picked up allegedly by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened, but with pain and damage to both her vagina and her anus, where she then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes. Another instance, an individual, this time not a minor, attended a group dinner, allegedly with Sean Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking because she was pregnant, but whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something. She blacked out, and she woke up in the same bed, again allegedly, with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and sore.
Genetic exchange. In addition, I have verified the abuse described in these allegations and spoken about Diddy's purported strategy of filming the people he mistreated and preserving them for future use as blackmail, which allowed him to maintain everyone's silence for an extended period of time and avoid going to jail.
They not gonna come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them, and they praying that they not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. They praying. So until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here, we got you on, hey buddy, we got you on this tape, and girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not gonna show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, you know, Sean Combs. That's when they're gonna start talking. And they're not gonna be talking in his favor. When the feds come to them and show them what they got on, because if he had 250 tapes all over, 250 cameras all over the house, somebody got caught stealing a cookie out the cookie jar. It could be your favorite pat, it could be your favorite politician, but they didn't think they was being watched, and Brother Love was watching. That's why they ain't speaking up or saying nothing. Yeah, I was at a Diddy party, but I know I ain't do nothing. When you don't know somebody's taping you, when you don't know that somebody is videoing you in some kind of form or fashion, you got that alcohol, you got the drugs in you, they're a little loose, bro. Let down all their inhibition. The music is pumping. He said it himself. He got it so hot in there that you gotta take your clothes off. He said that himself, bro. So a lot of them, like what he said? I think a lot of them was being swallowed. Have you ever been swallowed? They tell off on themselves all the time, man.
Apart from Harvey and Kevin, another well-known individual who has allegedly kept quiet about the Diddy issue is Ashton Kutcher, despite being often seen with Diddy. Ashton and his spouse Mila Kunis are reportedly thinking of quitting Hollywood completely in an effort to escape the turmoil, according to a person close to the actor. It's just a matter of time till Ashton gets mixed up in all of this because there is a ton of video that connects Ashton and Diddy. After becoming close to Danny Masterson, Ashton Kutcher is now being entangled in the Diddy controversy as well.
And Ashton Kutcher and him they were real tight. One time me, him, Ashton Kutcher went to a Nets game and we met Jay-Z there. You know what I'm saying? So they were close, they was close.
But you think Diddy would do something like that? Allow other celebrities?
Well, why would it have to be a lie? Because if he get caught in he gonna be as truthful as possible. You understand? He's gonna give them enough information, whereas that it's gonna make him look like the choir boy. So Ashton Kutcher, he has a right to be kind of alarmed if he was doing things with Diddy. Remember they used to have that group called the what do you call it? The Brat Pack, with Diddy, him, and a couple other guys was hanging out. Leonardo, one other guy too, I forgot the other guy's name. So they all might be worried.
Every famous person who has attended one of Diddy's wild parties is somehow connected to this entire affair. Diddy has long said that the police want to shut down his parties due to his unlawful activities. However, all of these celebrities attended, and now they all claim to have seen unusual things, but done nothing about them. Lord Jamar claims that Bad Boy Records was not the only company involved in Diddy's assault. Everyone in Hollywood was aware of what was happening, but no one intervened to stop the abuse. The moment the truth is out, every major label in the business will go out of business.
People behind the scenes that are homosexuals that are pushing buttons? Yes. Yes. And that they want you to be down with their shit in order to push the button for you? Absolutely. And this is part of it. You just saw one of the gay mafia members. That's who he is. That's who Puffy is. He's one of the members of the mob. He's a mafia member. But he might not be Don Carl. He's not the Godfather. You see? He's not the Godfather. He's one of the heads of the families. You see? We have different families in this fucking thing. We got Bad Boy. We got fucking what do we have? Death Row over here. We have the different we got fucking Arista Records and LaFace. These are the fucking families in the mafia. You dig? Those record companies are like...
Napoleon, a former member of Tupac, even said that the company had known about Diddy's business methods for decades but was too scared to speak up.
Well, we've been hearing stuff for ages about the guy. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I think also from a business standpoint of view, I think the music industry is one of the most corrupt industries on the planet. And I know somebody personally, and I'm not even gonna go into detail, that did one of the biggest hits of Biggie's career. And he told me when he sent the beat to Puffy, he just stole it from him. So just from the amount, how you doing business, you cannot do business that way and expect for you to continue to be successful, because eventually it will come back. So we always heard about, you know, from that standpoint of view, just doing people dirty, you know, just snaking people for money, and every evil thing you can think of, they just, you know what I mean? So that's sad, because when you come from our background and we get into the music industry, for example, and they start becoming these CEOs, the first thing they start talking about, man, we're gonna do our own record company because we tired of the white man stealing from us. You know what I mean? And then you get these black CEOs, they come do the same exact thing to black artists.
The worst aspect of the whole thing is that some of the abusers were also abusing other people. For example, Usher was one of Diddy's first young victims. Although Usher has claimed on several occasions that Diddy showed him bizarre things when he was younger, Usher later began going to Diddy's parties and allowed Diddy to mistreat Justin Bieber.
To New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, you know, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Uh-huh.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans. Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, they didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Did he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And what kind, do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like, you know, like a living.
Life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Interestingly enough, this is also what turned Diddy become a monster. Diddy wasn't always like this. In fact, the sexual harassment he experienced in the industry helped to mold the person he is now. John Deal even went so far as to name the people who had done it.
To jail and be leaving their kids behind, be leaving their family behind. You understand? But some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bro. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not gonna say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that.
The abuse cycle that started with Diddy has hurt a lot of people, including minors. Diddy helped some of the biggest stars in the industry become who they are today in exchange for sex favors. Even though the Hollywood elites knew what was happening, they continued to allow it as Diddy offered them access to the minors.
I made a comment, right, saying that you knew someone that went through Jimmy Hitchman proffer agreement for a drug case. And the proffer agreement revealed that Jimmy Hitchman, he could have walked away if he would have given up Diddy. What she mean by that?
Well, what happened was that they had 9 different sections with Jimmy Hitchman. regarding his proffer agreement. So that means the feds went in there 9 different times to talk to him. And in those sessions, they asked him, what do you know about Sean Puffy Combs or Sean Diddy Combs? I don't think it was Puffy at that time. It wasn't Diddy at the time. But what do you know about Sean John Puffy Combs having sex with underage boys? And you gotta realize, and people never think about this, that Jimmy and his brother, I think they had the same charge, but his brother walked away from that, and Jimmy gets life without the possibility of parole, I think, which is crazy for any drug charge. Nobody should spend their life in jail for drug charge and just drug charge. But I think they try to tie him to some murders or something like that.
Same way they made allegations about Usher when Usher was younger.
I mean, do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire. Why would Diddy be tapping his kid in his chest to see if he wired and asking him, are you wired? Why would he be confronting that kid? Why would Justin Bieber make a song about, what is it? I got smashed at a Diddy party or something like that? There's reasons behind all this. So where there's smoke, there's fire, Cam. I wouldn't put it past him.
Justin, he's been real quiet about this. I mean, I think like a lot of the other celebrities.
I was reading some, Cam, and the kid say after he went to Diddy camp, he started using drugs so heavy and was smashed every day. What would cause a kid who wanted to be an artist in the music business all of a sudden to start getting high and drinking and drugging, popping pills and smoking? What would cause a kid to do that?
I mean, usually trauma.
Or a Diddy party.
What do you think will happen next? Is Diddy really about to be arrested, or will he manage to get away again? Let us know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.